Hey there, Misfits. It's time for another 1-minute review, and today we're taking a look at White Castles. You know, these are the best White Castles. I mean, the best burger ever. I mean, right? It's got the onions. That's fair. Okay, I love White Castles. All I'm saying. So my review is 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 mixed salties?
Eat White Castles all day long. Yes.
That's not what we're here for.
What?
Give me my burgers back.
Ah! Yeah, okay, you got me. It's actually about the White Castle, which has absolutely nothing to do with burgers and everything to do with Edo period, Japan, and a new game by DeVere, which we love DeVere.
We could get. They have fast food magnate. Maybe we could get them to make a White Castle magnate.
No, just not. We're not going there today. We'll go there another time, but right now we're going to focus on this DeVere game, which I absolutely love. So, as you probably seen before, maybe not, but DeVere is heavy on theme. They do a great job. And when you love a theme, man, it really hits home. It just brings that other level to a game. And I love Edo period Japan. Like, we're huge into Asian history and everything, and especially Japanese history. So I was especially like thrilled when I saw the box for this game. Like, what is this? And I was reading the back and everything. And this is by the designer of the Red Cathedral. And if you played that, you're gonna like this. It is different, but I mean, you could see the work behind the curtain. So the White Castle is Edo period Japan. You are winning by getting the most points. And by doing that, you're doing several different things in this game. And let me explain it a little bit as we go here, because there's a lot going on in this game. So you start off and you have your own little board here, and you have your they're not really workers, you want to call them, they're meeples, of course, but you have your warrior meeples, you have your gardener meeples, and you have your I forget their name, but they're like quarter meeples. They're basically like little major domos. They're basically the guys who you go vie for the attention of the emperor. So you start at the game and you have like a little mini draft. You'll get these cards here. You basically get these cards as a special ability on your board. So you'll go reverse order usually. You'll roll off and then you'll pick and you'll get the ability and you'll get whatever bonuses come on the card. Now let's say this guy gets the bonuses on the card, so he'll get this here, and then he'll get the extra ability at the bottom. That plays an important role later. So everybody picks their cards, gets the bonuses, and we will start our game. I'll put this over here for me. So, as I said before, you're vying for points and you're doing multiple different things. A lot of this comes in the form of dice drafting, okay, kind of, sort of. There's a lot. Everybody, or the first player will roll in all the dice at the beginning of the game. You'll have these little bridges which have dice on the left and right side of the bridge. You'll basically go ahead and pick from either side of the bridge. Now, actually, I have these incorrectly. The higher side is to one side, while the lower side is to the other. The rest are actually put in order on the top of the bridge from lowest to highest. And there's a reason for that, because it incentivizes you. So you're going to get dice because you're generally going to want a high number dice because you're going to put them over in these areas on the board. Basically, you draft the dice, you take it, you put it on the board, you take the action, I'll get into that later, wherever you're putting it at. And the thing is, though, the number is very important. So the printed number, and sometimes actually the dice as well, because people will put dice there and you can stack them. The difference in the number is either what you gain or lose in money. And money is also very important in this game. So if I put a 4 down here, on this 3, I get 1 yen. If I put a lower number, let's just say I take a 1 and put it here, and this, wherever you're putting dice on this area of the board, color doesn't, I mean, it matters, but not as much. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But if I put this here, so there's a difference of 2 here, but in the negative, you'll have to pay 2 money to even use that dice. Otherwise, you can't use it. So you're like, well, why would I ever take the lower cost dice ever? Well, there's a reason for that. You're going to take the lower cost dice because when you do, it'll trigger the ability to the right here, which corresponds to the icon on your board. So if you take the weaker dice, you'll get to trigger your board. Your board will usually give you something. In this case, like this one will give you a point. You literally just get a point once you move your fan along here. Other things will give you money. Like if I triggered it, I would get money. So it gives you kind of an incentive to actually get the lower dice if you can afford to, you know what I mean? So you'll start drafting things. And you're like, well, what do I do with the dice? Well, you have multiple different areas on this board to put your dice. You have a default junk area, kind of where you can put the dice if you have nothing better to do. And it's always 1, and you can put as many dice, people can put as many dice as you want there, and you usually get random bonuses in case you can't do anything. You have the actual castle here. The castle is where you move your meeples up the row here. You start out at the bottom of the gate looking for entry, and then you move your way up through the halls of the castle until you get to the Emperor's throne room. So you'll pay a bit of money. You also pay, did I mention, by the way, there's also resource management in this? Because there is. So as you go along, you'll collect 3 types of resources. You'll collect, this is rice, you'll collect iron, and pearls. Now, they each kind of correspond with different actions in the game, but you'll always use money for something. And in this case, like when you're moving your courtiers through here, you'll pay a couple of pearl and you'll move them slowly up. And as you move them up, you'll get bonuses that way because you have these other cards that you do to slot on your board because you have actions on your board as well. So one of the things you could do with the dice is you could take them and put them over here on your board, and then you trigger the action on your board by going all the way to the right. Now, as you play, you'll be taking these meeples off your board, which makes these actions even more powerful. You'll see here as you go, it reveals more icons. And start out, you only have the one action for all the different rows. But as you go along and start adding cards, you'll have more actions that are more powerful that pertain to particular rows. The second level is good actions for one row, and then a lesser action for 2 rows. The final one, actually, I think those are the best ones. The first one is kind of similar, but you have it in 1 of 3 rows. So as you move up, you'll get better action cards to put on your board, increasing the power that you get from doing these actions. But of course, how do you take these meeples off? Well, you know one way, you're going to take them off here and move them up here as you advance your courtiers to see the Emperor. However, you also have training yards where you put your warriors. So you can put your warriors out here and they'll get an immediate bonus, but for that you have to pay iron. So there's the other resource you have to keep track of. And you'll get whatever bonus that you'll get from having warriors out here. Keep in mind though, warriors pay off by having courtiers in the castle, otherwise you really get no points for them. So you can't, and that's the thing about this game, you can't ignore or spam one thing because you also have farmers as well. And I think the one game I played, I lost. My first game I lost because I focused entirely on all these other things going on over here, and I completely ignored the farmers, which was bad. The farmers, once you put them out, they go into one of these slots on the board. Here they have these little gardening areas, and they have this side and this side. And basically when you put them here, guess what? You got to pay that other resource, rice, to put them out. But once you put them out, you get an immediate bonus. And then what happens is after each round, you have a season bonus for all your farmers on the board. However, it's only for the farmers that have dice left on the bridges. So not everybody's farmer will get a bonus. It influences how you draft. It influences how other people's draft. There's a lot of that going on in this game. I mean, you can draft whatever the heck you want from either side of the bridge, but what you take is very, very important. Not only for what bonuses you get, but everything in this game. This is such a tightly focused, every decision matters in this game. You will feel like you almost feel the stress of it because you don't have enough rounds. There's only 3 rounds in this game, and you draft these dice each round, and that is it. So every action you take matters in this game, and I like that a lot because strategy is extremely important in this game. As much as there are dice involved, that like randomity has nothing to do with this game outside of what numbers you pull, which do affect you, but not as much as you'd think. So you're drafting these dice, moving along. You also have influence, and as you move up to influence, you'll get Emperor Seals and things like that, as well as points at the end of the game. And the Emperor Seals are used to pay for other stuff as well. So, I mean, there is a lot going on in this game, and I absolutely, absolutely love it. I mean, that's just the very bread and butter overview of this game. And I could go actually even farther. There is more going on in this game, a little bit more.
But it's a 1 minute review.
But it's a 1 minute review, so we don't have all day. But that's the bulk of this game. This is 80-90% of this game. This game is awesome. Theme is absolutely on point. I cannot believe the quality and breadth of stuff they've put in this tiny little box. I mean, it's insane that this is not even all the components, but like all of this, another player's worth of stuff is in here. It's packed inside this tiny little thing. And putting it away was rough because I mean, it's just, look at it. They're just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. Theme, as always with Devere, is absolutely perfect. Art is absolutely perfect. And strategy, this level of strategy and thinking, this is what I love in board games. So it hits real home for me. Everything is tight. Everything is is relevant and everything in this game is important. I love it. Absolutely love this game. That said, it is not a lightweight game in any way. I mean, you're dice drafting, you're like, okay, it doesn't sound difficult, but it is, because there's, again, strategy is really the heart of this game. And sure, you could just take dice and put them where you want, and maybe you get the mechanics down, but that's not going to win you games, and that's not really, like, you're missing half of the game. So this game is very heavy strategy, and mechanic wise, it isn't that light either. It's a good medium to heavy, medium heavy, heavy light, whatever, mechanics as well, because you're doing a lot of things, and there's a lot of different iconography in this game. So definitely not a light game. I love it. I absolutely love this game, Devere. It's a knockout for me. I hope to see more. Like, there's enough in this game where you don't even need to make an expansion, but it'd be cool to add. So I certainly could see where maybe they can add something else in, and that would be super cool. Maybe another bridge, another board, whatever. I hope they do, because I love this game, or at least make another game in the series. I love it. I did Imperial Japan anyway. But yeah, trust me, this game is a winner, guys.
How many Mr. Salties, man?
I want to give it a 5 out of 5.
Well, it's your show.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this game. The only cons I will say, and only reason why I'd rate it lower is just for everybody else, because I try to be subjective. I really try to be subjective. I absolutely love it. For me, this game's a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this game. Is going to live in my collection forever, because it's absolutely great. However, that said, if you can't handle the heat of heavy strategy and mechanics, this is not the game for you. It is not. It is not an easy game for intro, for anybody looking for something light. That is not that game. I mean, yeah, you can play it, but you will get schooled by people who understand the mechanics and the stuff going on. So, you know, and again, Japanese period, Edo period might not be your thing as well. I can't see how that'd be a huge issue. However, again, with everything, everybody has a flavor. If you don't like that flavor, then it's not for you. Otherwise, for me, 5 out of 5. I absolutely love it. Devere, you made an awesome game. I think it surpasses Red Cathedral. I absolutely love this game. Please, make more. Take my money. This game is amazing. So, yeah, 5 out of 5, guys. I don't usually give it very often. I try not to. But I absolutely love this game. Honestly, even if you're a gamer and you're new and stuff, I would say just have this game to have in your collection to learn it and play it. You know what I mean? It's like it's another one I could compare as like Feast for Odin. It's a complex game, one of the best tile laying games out there. And even if you're not there yet, just have it in your collection so that you can maybe someday learn and appreciate a game that has this crunchiness and depth to it. Yeah, 5 out of 5. 5 samurai swords out of 5. No Ronin here, buddy. Thanks, guys, for joining me for another, 10-minute review? Is that what we're doing? 1 minute. I mean, 1 minute review, yes. We move a decimal here and there, guys. As always, another knockout by Devere, guys. Leave some comments, please. What's your favorite emperor? What's your favorite diamond? Palpatine? Yeah, that is true. He is an awesome emperor. Hey, guys, until next time, as always, of course, game on.